I want you to break out that hustle muscle. I want you to break out that tenacity between now and November. Why? Because this is, for a lot of people, the biggest 90-day run in network marketing for entrepreneurs, especially because a lot of us are in a network marketing company that does big sales and big deals. I know our company, every single year, the last 8 years, November's been our biggest month of the year, the most rank advancements, the best sales. That means you should start running and gunning now. So anyway, I'm excited. Nicole, so pumped to have you on. Can't wait to help everybody map out a plan, leveraging TikTok. And I know we're also going to talk about conversions.
Hey, John, thanks for having me. This is so exciting. And I love what I do. And I want people to get back to that love and that zest and that tenacity and that passion and the fun. And right now I see a lot of people kind of moping around going, it's not working for me, or the summer was slow, or people aren't biting, or it's too expensive. And what it really boils down to is we have to focus on the very best product, John. The very best product that you have in your hands is you. You are the one. Trust, respect, that's everything. And when they start loving you and they start saying, that's me, that's me, that's me, I don't care if you're selling toothpicks, baby, they're going to buy them because they want to be closer to you. And whatever you like, they believe they're going to like because you've already called it out in them. You've put a mirror up to them. So let's talk about that. So I've been in network marketing for 10 years and I absolutely love what I do. And about a year and a half ago, I was crushing it on TikTok. Like with it was all recruiting though. I'm a recruiter, right? So I was going to town with recruiting, and then all of a sudden I wake up one morning and my TikTok was gone. It was gone. And it was, they banned it with no appeal. It is what it is. And so I just kind of had to lick my wounds for a while. I pivoted immediately. If something happens, everybody should just think it's no big deal. There's no emergency in network marketing. Nothing can crush you because the best is still in your hands. It's you. So you just have to learn how to use you properly to be able to attract people wherever you're at. So I pivoted over to Facebook. I made a killing on Facebook. They shut me down. I'm going to go to TikTok. I'm going to go to Facebook because I'm going to focus. You grow what grows. Rather, where you focus is what grows, right? And so I decided to go back. I decided to go back to TikTok, and I had to think really hard about what I wanted to talk about. So nobody knows me, and I'm thinking, okay, I really need to talk about things that I'm really good at. Now, what am I good at? I had to think, how can I micro niche what I know about me? If somebody said, hey, Nicole, get on stage, our TED talker just got sick and they're in the bathroom and we need somebody to care for 20 minutes. What am I going to do? What am I going to talk about for 20 minutes to someone that I care about, that I'm passionate about, that I can actually help someone with? And it doesn't have to be a million things, and it doesn't have to be tragic. It just has to solve one problem. Because what we teach is micro niching down through the power of one. This is where you're going to start getting results. And so if I got up there and I started talking about that one little thing that maybe I've been through, and it doesn't mean that I've conquered it, I could still be going through it, but I'm speaking from scars now instead of wounds, and I could really open it up and share my story, maybe share somebody else's story, take them in a room, then I'm going to have an audience of people that feel like they finally have someone that get them on that one thing, not a million things. And let me go ahead and crush you now. Let me just break it to you easy. No matter what your products are, there's not a product that you have that's made for every person, right? You have to understand that. You have a person just like you that's just 2 steps behind you that hasn't found a solution for whatever you found a solution for. And you don't have to talk about your actual products. You talk about something that you've solved in your life that's made you happier, that's made your life more entertaining, that's made your life better, that is going to make an impact on people that are looking for what you have. If you can make them say that's me, then you're on the right path. And that's what I did. So I started at the end of April. I set up an account. About 2 weeks into it, I was making progress. My goal, y'all, and it was lofty in my head, because when I set up my first account, I did not get to 1,000 people that fast. It took me months. And this time I thought, I'm really going to go at it, no matter what it takes. And that's kind of the mindset you have to have. Like, how long will it take me to get to 1,000 followers if I show up once a day? That's not what I was saying. What I said was, what do I have to do to get to 1,000 followers in 30 days? And so if I have to show up 3 times a day, then that's what I'm going to do. So I actually started making a couple of videos on my niche, my micro niche. I started showing up, looking at what people need. I was studying what other people were already having success at in that same niche on TikTok. And I was turning around and putting really good curiosity captions on this to pull in an audience. And I was doing this 2 times a day. I finally got to 1,000, but I did it in 2 weeks instead of 30 days. I was really happy. And the day that I did it, it was about 8:30 p.m. at night. My son saw it first. He's like, Mom, you hit 1,000. I'm like, fire it up, baby. I'm going live. Because that's what I was waiting for, right? I wanted to get to 1,000 because I wanted them to hear my unique voice through just live feed. And so that night at 10:30, I had no idea if I was get one person, 5 people, no one. I went live and I had about 30 people join me that night. Just 30. That's it. And it was awesome. I stayed on for about 45 minutes and it felt so good being able to share something I knew about, something I was passionate about, and had other people get on that really was interested and they wanted to learn more. They didn't know me. But that next morning, John, I woke up to 12,000 followers. 1,000 to 12,000. And it was my son again. He's like, Mom.
It's right? So crazy. And that's why I love TikTok. Sometimes people are like, oh, it's TikTok's not duplicatable or TikTok's not for the new person. And I don't disagree with that. I think when you're brand new, you start with people, you start with the normal steps. But I mean, we've got people that have only been with us for a couple of weeks and they're not putting all their eggs in the TikTok basket, but they're definitely spending some time over there and they're getting leads. They're creating new conversations. So I love this. I think it's so powerful. And I want everybody to understand, yes, Nicole's been around a while. Yes, she's got a pretty good gift, right? She's talented. You can tell, but that was a brand new account. That was a brand new account of people that did not know her. So anyway, continue. I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
No, that's cool. But that's the most important thing. I want people to understand there is a formula that you want to follow. And I want you guys to realize that we want to get you to 1,000. If you're sitting at 10, you're sitting at 200, and you're like, that's not for me because I've been sitting at 200 for the last 2 years and it's not moving, then we need to look at what you have micro niched down to. You need to do a brain dump. What are you good at? What do you love? If I walked up to a table of your friends and said, hey, what is it that Sarah does really, really well? Your friends are going to know. You may have gotten so result triggered that you pulled yourself away from really showing up with the most authentic product, again, which is you. But when you step back, you could be thinking, well, Nicole, what the heck, man? I crochet. You want me to go over there and start crocheting and sell product? That's not going to work.
Yes, it is. I still and I don't want to go on a rant here, but I still remember the one time I had someone on a Saturday call and she had gotten 30 new customers. She hit platinum in our compensation plan. That's she's now getting 30% commissions. And,
wow.
and I had found out that she did it in the last 30 days because 30 days prior to that, now this has nothing to do with TikTok. This is before TikTok existed, Nicole.
Oh.
But she basically was really into scrapbooking. So she heard on a Saturday call, join some like-minded Facebook groups, make some friends. Don't go in there selling and pitching your products. Just if it's something you love, you can talk about it all day. You can help people. You can share tips. You can network with other people that like scrapbooking, which, let's be clear, I didn't know scrapbooking was even a thing. So she goes into this group, makes a bunch of friends. They see her before and after pictures and some stuff she was posting on Facebook. And within 30 days, she had 30 new customers that all bought her lean body system. And she making money. I get her on the call, have her share that testimonial. The point is, had nothing to do with weight loss.
First of all, this is really, really important that you need to understand this as a marketer, and all of you are marketers at some level. You get 15% of somebody's brain on social media. They're putting gas in the car, they're at work, they shouldn't be watching it, they're changing a poopy diaper. I mean, whatever it is. So that means that when you show up with the same message, you're not a broken record. You just have to be very clear what that one message is. And so this is what's really important. You don't need 10 messages and you don't need to have all of the products in your back pocket. Now let's go, for example, I'll give you an example. He just brought up his friend who was scrapbooking, right? What if you're sitting there and you're showing people how to be like the bomb.com and scrapbooking, and there are millions of women that love it. I mean, they love it. I would rather chew my arm off, but there are women that would sit there for hours and they would cut out shapes and they would find the right themes and they'll spend hours in Michael's looking for the right paper, right? So somebody is now bringing these tips that they probably Googled, right? But they're bringing tips, so they're showing, hey, this is the best deal that you're going to get at Michael's, and here's the best colors for this. And so they're bringing value like crazy because they micro niche down, and then they're like 6 weeks into it. And what they do is they pick up a pair of scissors like, hey, by the way, listen, these are the best scissors that you can get out there. They're about $10 more than what I was paying before, but they're easier on your hand. But I will say this, it's so much easier now because I've been taking this liquid collagen that's been helping my joint health. It is amazing. And if you are doing this all day long, you're crazy if you don't have it.
So
it's
good.
that freaking simple. And they're going to go, where do I get it?
Which collagen
Right?
do you recommend? Because they
Right.
know you, like you, and trust you. And, whether you're
That's
using
it.
Google, you're using ChatGPT, whether you're coming up with these ideas by doing some research ahead of time, like, here's the truth. It's not the information. It's the connection, the relatability, right? The way you talk, maybe, where you're from, or the way you show up, they're attracted to your energy. So sometimes we think like, oh, well, other people already talk about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or there's a lot of people that already talk about this stuff. Well, that's how you know a lot of people are interested in it, right? But you have your own unique way of sharing and showing up, and you have your own unique personality. So you have to get over those limiting beliefs. We're going to do it in our own way, and the truth is, there's a lot more people consuming information than creating the content that people consume. So anyway, love that
100%.
idea. So
Oh
good.
my gosh. Okay, just for what I talk about, there's 49 million women living and experiencing the things that I talk about. 49 million women. 49 million. 4 billion people scrolling. So I want you to think about that. 4 billion scrolling, 49 million living. How many of the 4 billion are related to one of the 49 million that's going to refer it?
Also, what are your numbers? So it's been 4 months. Tell us, what are your numbers by doing what you're talking about?
Okay, so the first month, this is great. So when I hit 12,000 overnight, this was in May, right?
Yeah.
This was May 15th. May 14th is when I was able to go live. I went from 12,000, May 15th, May 16th, 24,000. June 1st, I was sitting at 104 or 105,000. And then it just kept going from there, right? So I'm sitting at 170,000, something like that. I'm not sure.
It is so dumb when you guys think about this. Like, sure, it might take a little bit of time to get the confidence that Nicole has, but you have to get over that. I'm sorry, anything worth doing is hard. Please stop looking for shortcuts. In fact, you know what? We're kind of giving you a shortcut because you get to get into our brains, because we have gone through all the trial and error and all the struggle and all the adversity. We're trying to help you speed it up, but still, you got to be a little patient with this. You're probably not going to have 100,000 followers in a couple months with a brand new account like Nicole, but you could. And the fact that that can even happen, the fact that you're not obsessing over this possibility right now, you're just missing it. It's wild. Now, also, Nicole, 100,000 new followers. What did that do for the sales? Let's talk about the actual sales.
It was insane because I was always focusing on recruiting, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna focus on customer acquisition. So I was sitting at about 2,000 in sales by the middle of the month. At the end of the month, I was sitting at almost 9,000 in sales. So that was in 2 months or 2 weeks. So I went from less than 2 to over 9 in 2 weeks.
So that's about 70 new customers.
Yeah, it was almost 100 actually. No, it was crazy in 2 weeks, right? Yeah. And then the next month
and you've never done that before.
Never done that before. And again, nobody knew me. These were all new people in 2 weeks.
Right.
They were just like opening up the wallet. They're like, what do you have? Give it to me, right? And but here's something we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about conversion in a second, because vanity metrics are nothing. I could care less about having 160,000 followers. What I care about, because I'd go for 10, I'd go for 5 if the conversion was the same. That's why live is so powerful, right?
Yeah, good point.
Right. It doesn't matter how many followers you have, because you're going to have new eyeballs on your lives every single night. And I gauge it. I'm going to teach that to you in a second. So stay with this. This is really important. So what do I do? I go from 9,000 in those 2 weeks. The next month I go to a little over 15,000, and then over 20,000 that next month.
Literally, it's 10x. Yeah, you went from 2,000 in sales to 20,000. God only knows what you could do moving forward, especially now that I know you and Stacey are also building your own Facebook community. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh my, are we? And this is one of the best things about it, because if someone's not ready to make a buying decision and you're like, you have to get into my free Facebook group, but hold on, you can't get in free unless you use my name. So here's the link. And we even show them, I have 2 phones. Here's the link. This is what you want to do. Go join it, because there's 5,000 other women just like you in there that's going to lift you up and make you feel better. So I edify the other people in the group that are also watching, and they're on, and they're also saying all the things that they love about it. And we're showing testimonies. It's incredible. It's just a kumbaya, right? It's amazing.
I have so many questions, but I know you have conversion conversation, but let me ask 2 quick ones. How many do you post per day? Do you sell in those TikToks? I'm assuming no, but I'll be curious to see if that's a yes. And then the lives, how long are they?
Oh, that's such a great question. Okay, so I don't put products. I don't put products inside of it. I'm showing the value before the cost, really, because what I want to do is show them a pain point. This is really powerful. So if you're taking notes about this, the formula really, of course, I'm not talking about the formula of what I say, but it's really the mindset behind it. The formula is you have to show them a pain point. And you can Google that all day, guys. I could sit there, like Stacey had the results with magnesium. I did too. I sold thousands of thousands of bottles of magnesium. It's a freaking mineral. It's one mineral. One. So imagine if you want to talk about vitamin C and all the benefits. So let's just say I'm talking about vitamin C. What are the benefits to the women that are watching me? Not just general benefits, but micro niche down. What are 3, not 10? Never more than 5. This is marketing 101, okay? So I would show 3 or 5 benefits of what that vitamin C would do for them. Maybe the next video that I'm going to do is say, but before you take it, you better watch this video first, because here's what you can't take. It's just it's all about curiosity. They'll break their neck to hear the negative, right?
Right.
But of course, when they start the video, it's not negative at all. We're just showing them a little bit deeper on how the vitamin C is going to help them, and maybe a little recommendation of what they should not do, right? But what I do, you have your 10-minute option now. I never really go over 3 or 4 minutes. I haven't really had to do that yet, but people will watch the 3 to 4 minutes if there is a story behind it, right? So when I'm talking about it, I introduce myself in the beginning. I tell them exactly who I am, but I also do something that you need to start doing. This is really powerful. You have to toot your horn. They need to know what you're good at. They need to know your confidence and your posture of how you're going to help them. So I always say, I'm Nicole Domuret, mother of 5, wife to 1. Follow me here to learn more and to be able to get notified when I go live and drop videos, but also save this for later, because you may not be able to watch it right now. I've helped thousands of women XYZ, and I'm going to help you too. Watch this. That's what I say, because I want them to know that I'm actually helping people. I'm confident in helping people, but I'm telling them exactly how I'm helping them. So I'm either going to repel them or I'm going to pull them in tighter. Then the video is going to be about their pain point. I'm going to point it out hard. Are you experiencing XYZ? Me too. This is what happened to me, because now I want them to relate to me. And then I'll tell them, and this is what I found to be true about what I started doing here. And then I'll give them an example of how this can help them. And am I going to give them 10 examples? No. Again, you want to give them only one action step of what they need to do next. And it has nothing to, I use the same thing almost every single time. If I'm talking about vitamin C, do I sell vitamin C? No, I don't sell vitamin C. So what I want them to do is ask more questions about what I started out with, which was I've helped thousands of women XYZ. So in the end, I'm like, if you want the list of things that help me lose 30 pounds and also help thousands of women do the same, drop the word list below and I'll get that to you. But they got a lesson and a CTA, and I use one word, and I never do more than one CTA in the end. But I do go live every day, and I only do 1 video a day, right? It's a value video, always a value video. 1 3 to 4 minute TikTok, right? And then I'm going to go live. And so a lot of people, this is where I feel like this is where they get in their head, because they think this. I hear this all the time, y'all. It sounds like it's just too much work. It sounds like it's just too much hustle. And the fact is, for me personally, at the end of it, it's so therapeutic and fun. And I've made so many incredible friends. There's no hustle to it. I've enjoyed every second of it. And you need to enjoy what you do. There's no hustle involved. How many times would you go live a day if you knew you were going to make sales? Because I make sales every single time I go live. How many times would you do it? See, that's so powerful. It's almost like a given. If I go live, I'm going to make sales. So let's talk about that conversion. So if I drop the word list, then they're going to go in and they're going to say list. I have, of course, I dig my ditches. I have my keyboard shortcuts and I have my boards, and I have at least 10 to 20 because I always want to make sure that I'm just staying on top of it and not putting the same message every time. But I direct them immediately to my link. I want them to know where it's at. Now, a lot of people don't know how to get to your profile. So if you have it really simply laid out on your profile without too much language, full list below, or whatever you want to choose with, like, I don't care, arrows, whatever, they need to know exactly where to go. So I put that in the language. Hey, listen, if you want the full list, I can't drop it all here, but go to my profile and where it says full list below, click that link and you'll find it. Or even more importantly, I tell them to text me. If they text me, I don't lose them. I have their phone number now, and I also get to get them exactly what they want. But there's FOMO in that because I'll let them know, if you text me, I have a coupon for you. And they want to know about the coupon. Like, hook me up. Everybody loves discounts. And so they'll text the word to me, and I have it in Project Broadcast, right? Well,
but I love that you're taking them from TikTok to Facebook, and you're also taking them from TikTok to Project Broadcast. You have
exactly
multiple ways to connect, because it is a little harder. That's the truth on TikTok. But you know what? That's just an obstacle that we're giving you a solution to right now. So at the end of the day, those are two options to pull them off. What else would you say for people that are maybe wanting to do the lives, and they're kind of like, okay, I have over 1,000 followers. How long? How do I structure? Because it's different than Facebook Live, where you're like, hey, replay viewer, blah, blah, blah. Like, so what does that look like?
I think one of the biggest problems is people get up in their head about what they're going to talk about. If I'm going to tell you you should be on for an hour, you're like, an hour? Are you insane? I'm like, guys, that hour is going to fly by. I want you to imagine it this way, if this helps. You're going to dinner with some of your closest friends. You have something in common. Have you ever been to a dinner where it was off-putting? You've been invited and you're sitting there, and you're sitting at the end of the table with people you have nothing in common with, and you're sitting there going, oh my God, this is like the longest dinner on the planet, right? I want you to imagine that is quite the opposite. You're going to a dinner party with some of your closest friends. You have a lot in common. And like an hour passes, you never looked for the bathroom or an exit. That's what going live is going to be like. You're going to go live and look at I don't know how many times I've done it, dozens and dozens, where I look up and my husband's like, you've been on for like an hour and a half. I'm like, what? I have no idea. Because we start talking and people start asking questions, and they keep going back and forth with you because they want answers. And it's become such a dynamic conversation. So when you find that one thing, it's not going to be hard to go for an hour. But I always suggest 45 minutes to an hour, because I study the analytics. I look at them. I see that people come on for about 5 minutes, and what people are doing on TikTok. If you've ever scrolled at night or first thing in the morning on TikTok, there's so many people live. It's like on Netflix. You're like, what do I want to watch? Right? They're just flipping through it. So on TikTok, they're flip, because they're watching lives, and they'll stop. They'll watch the live for like a minute and go, is this what I really want to watch? Nah, I'm going to keep going. You're one of those lives. So they'll watch you and go, oh, I like this. But I saw like some medium that was bringing some dead guy back to, I was like, I want to go find that again. I don't know. I really like that woman. So they'll come back to you. It's so crazy. But this is how you get new eyes. And so I gauge the conversation when I jump on. I'm like, hey, guys, let me know where you're coming in. I do the small talk because I'm going to wait until I have a big enough crowd. A big enough crowd for me is about 25, 30.
And then what times are best to go live?
I go live in the morning, or I'll go live at about 10 p.m. at night. This sounds late, but that's when everybody's up. That's when everybody's up. They're laying in bed, or they're just getting ready for bed, and they're not really ready to go to bed. This is like the new big thing. Instead of watching a whole new program on TikTok, right? Or Netflix rather, they're going to go to TikTok. It's just more intimate, and they can turn it off whenever they want. They can actually be in bed, and that's basically what happens. And some of them like, Nicole, I got to go to bed.
And some of them are jumping out of bed to go get their credit card because of you.
They are. And they've actually said that before. They're like, I've had to start keeping my wallet next to my bedside table, Nicole. Thanks a lot, right?
Oh, that's great.
But this is it. And I give away a freebie that they love. And for me, that's really powerful because I feel like I'm giving to them. I'm really adding a lot of value. And that freebie is something that they crave and love. They're not going to get it anywhere else. It's kind of unique, but it's something that's going to help them. And it's very thematic to what I teach.
Right. And that's next level for some of you. You know, at some point, you know, when you figure out your niche, when you figure out like, this is my one thing, then you can start creating. You can create like, you know, a recipe book or a free ebook or a PDF, or you create a Facebook group. Like, you find ways to bring more value. And I know we kind of touched on this, but just to reiterate, like, you have to think about what are the things that you've overcame? What are some of your obstacles? What are some of your stories? What's your background? You know, what could you share with someone that could help them, right? Because that's really what it boils down to. It's like, what value are you going to bring into my life? How are you going to serve me? And I know for some of us, maybe we've been talking about one thing for a while. Pivot. You know, say, look, this is no longer what I'm excited to talk about. You can pivot in a totally different direction. And if you're worried about your existing account, start a brand new account. That's what Nicole did just 4 months ago. Start a brand new account. 170,000 followers later, it's working out pretty good. You know, now, I don't think you need to start a brand new account. I think you could keep your existing account and just pivot for 30 days. Try something new. Nicole had no choice because her account was taken away. Her account was shut down. It could happen, but what's beautiful about TikTok is it's the only platform where you can immediately blow up within 30 days all over again. You lose your Facebook, like that's just brutal. To rebuild a Facebook would be much more painful, because the truth is it's a lot harder to go viral and get attention over there. Where TikTok, we've been talking about it for years now, ever since 2020, and still today, it is the #1 platform to generate a new following, get new people to find you, discover you, to get new customers, and by the way, new recruits. Why? Because the customers you get from TikTok, or the people you get to connect with you on Facebook or join your Facebook group, now you can start cherry picking the ones that are really good people.
Because I've had a little bit of the inside scoop with TikTok, because I'm a creator. And one of the things they love are people selling product. They do. They love it. They love it. What they don't love is selling a lot of business strategies. So we have to just be very careful about what we choose to sell. You're safe if you're over there talking about benefits of products a little bit more than you are benefits of a network marketing business. So I think that's important to understand.
Which is kind of cool too, because you could kind of say, hey, my Facebook is my business platform. You can still take curiosity and promote products there. But for those of you that are like, well, I'm more of a business person, I like talking leadership principles and entrepreneurship and money and blah, blah, blah. Cool. Do that on Facebook. But on TikTok, stick with products, stick with more so treating it like affiliate marketing. So I love that. That's a really great insight. And I think it's interesting too, because, you know, there are obviously people like you and Michelle Churchill and some of these people that, like, they're using all the platforms kind of the same way, right? When they go live, they're going live on all of them. They're kind of repurposing the same content, right, on each platform. YouTube Shorts is in there too, as another great platform right now for short form videos. But I think they only go up to 60 seconds right now. So anyway, the point is, you could just have all platforms be the same type of content. But I think it's kind of a cool thing that, like, you could start a brand new TikTok that has nothing to do with anything you've ever shared before, and nobody knows you over there. So you just start testing out different conversations, and all of a sudden something pops off, like your 15,000 follower, you know, count after one video popped off. Then you can go live. Then you can start building that deeper connection. Like it really is the #1 platform for trying to get in front of a new audience and quickly converting once you understand that conversion conversation. It's a little tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's like clockwork. Like you said, you can make money every time you go live. I mean, it's crazy. I want you to go hard. Remember, we talked about this initially because we want you to go really crush November. So what does that mean? You ramp up now, right? You ramp up in September, October, and then November will be off the charts for you. So what I would do is I would commit between now and December, and just hit TikTok. If TikTok is what you think you need, if you're liking this conversation and the potential, I would hit it really hard between now and December. See what you can do with it. Now, if after a few months, couple months, you don't really like it, you're not feeling it, cool. But at least you know. At least you know, hey, I went hard for a couple months. And by the way, I can almost guarantee that if you do what Nicole just talked about, all of you are going to fall in love with it. All of you are going to be blown away by the amount of people you're going to be able to attract, by the amount of people that are going to pay attention to you. And once you can go live, then you can start really, you know, building that deep connection with those people. So, Nicole, anything else you want to share before we wrap this up? I appreciate you so much.
I love you, John. Okay, so this is it. This is all I'm going to say. We are less than 90 days out from Black Friday, right? So I want you to just keep this in the back of your head. Be very cognizant of this. Give it 90 days. It's less. It's like 80 days. You're going to give it 80 days in this one thing that you're going to do. Don't overthink it. You know what you're good at. And if you don't, I want you to write it down on Post-it notes. Every single thing that you know you can do. And then you want you to find some thematic theme of that one thing, micro niche. And if you think you can micro niche too deep, you can't really. You can't. There are people that are talking about one tiny little thing and they're blowing it up because simple is going to sell. Simple always sells. So just make sure that you trust your company, because your company is going to give you some stellar stuff come November. So right now, with you being simple and showing up and being disciplined and showing up and being consistent with that one message, that one person, that one CTA, between now and November, when your company drops some epic sale, epic promo for you, you're not gonna be able to control it. That boulder is gonna go down the hill and you're just gonna be like, well, there it goes. I can't control it. Be prepared. Be prepared, because it's gonna explode.